Okay, welcome back everyone. This is the second part where I have cut out my 9 by 12 inch illustration board. Remember to, cut it. I score it a bunch of times, so, when I'm cutting it, I just do like a bunch of cuts, probably like 3 or 4, and I don't push down super hard, because you don't want to slip. It's better to do a couple gradual cuts on it, and then it'll come out better, no rips or anything. So what I have here is my slice word with some parts taken off of it, so it's sliced. Some of these have some humor in them as well, so feel free to put any sort of little humor or visual pun in there that might be kind of clever, whatever you come up with. This one is, it gets the point across, but I'm sure I could have come up with a variety of solutions to this that could have been even better, but I stuck with this one for you all. And yeah, so what I did here was, this is my tracing paper. 9 by 12 fits on very evenly here. So, as you can see, it's the same size, so it translates well. So, when you blow up your word here, make sure that, it's big enough to be legible and take up a good amount of space on your illustration board. As you can see, mine is pretty centered, good amount of space all around here, so the word kind of sits right nicely in the middle here. So I kind of started drawing my little edits on here, and then what I did was, again, I just drew pen here, these angled sort of pieces, and then again, don't forget to do the pen on the back as well for the new parts that you put in. And then I traced, this C, but what I did was just leave it cut off, right? So then you're gonna get this kind of cool graphic look to it where the word is gonna be altered. So once the word is on here, right, through that transfer process of the pencil, right, where you push into it and get it right on there good, you might also think about, I didn't do it, but it turned out fine for me. You can tape down, your illustration board so that it doesn't move around. You can also put, try and re-ravel my tape. You can also kind of, square up the, let's see, your tracing paper here. Make sure it's square. And kind of do something like this. Just put it taped down there so it holds it, right? And then that way you can, go like that. Kind of see what you're working on. So I'm gonna leave this up. As you can see, I've taped off some areas, right, that were, this L is very geometric, so it's pretty easy to tape off. Something like the C, you can either, try and go about it. You could do the pen, right, very carefully. And kind of obviously focus. Mine's a little wobbly. Oh, I almost forgot too. When I transfer it also, I just did a light sort of pencil outline, so it kind of shows up there. You can also erase it if you mess up a little bit. Yeah, there's no right or wrong way to go about this, but I do think the most effective is by taping off these big areas, because then you can use your acrylic paint here. Just gonna get a little water, and then just like we did on the last project, the morphing grid, you know, fill that in with the black paint. Just gonna go ahead and see how this looks here. So it should look like a really solid letter form, right? By the time I lift this tape up. This is how they would do, you know, a lot of graphic design and logos before computers were really prominent in design. A lot of tracing paper, pen, you know, really kind of hands-on materials. And, you know, they would use tools to get stuff the way they wanted, you know, rollers and tape and things like that we're using. So a lot of those contemporary design programs that you all might be working in already, like Illustrator and Photoshop, are all based on tools that designers would use, and they just translated them to a digital setting. So it is important to learn how to do this stuff hands-on, so then when you go to the computer, you're not just rushing through a project or kind of just getting an easy kind of quick result. You understand the measurements and the process that goes into it, which is important. So I'm just gonna let this dry for a sec here. Again, it's not watered down too much. It's not right out of the tube though either. I'm just gonna take some off here. I'm sure it's still wet, but just for the sake of time. Always a very satisfying moment, right? When you get to see your results there. Oh, made a little bit of a error there, but it's okay. So there you can see, you can imagine, you know, all these other letters filled in like this. A nice sort of graphic, you know, black on white background. Clearly you'll be able to read this word, you know, but then it will have these edges, right, kind of taken off from it. And that is what will create that sort of visual sort of verb, I guess you could say, or adjective, depending on your word. And there you go. So this will be a great portfolio piece for any graphic design majors going forward. Programs always love to see use of typography and letter forms, and the stronger, you know, you can make this and the craft, have it be, you know, really clean. Watch your sort of edges here. It'll just be a really strong piece to add to, you know, your design portfolio so far that is mostly involved with shapes and pattern and things like that. I think the use of a word gives the portfolio a nice feel. So I hope you enjoyed this. Any questions, as always, you know, reach out. And that's about all I can think of. So go make some cool, creative 5-letter logos. All right, see ya.